The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised. You are now entering the all-consuming realm of Shay's Paranormal Chat, where the things that are better left unsaid are actually said.
Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to Shay's Paranormal Chat. Paranormal podcasting done Shay's way. Tons of fun.
Dude, seriously?
A bit sarcastic.
Hashtag investigator, not hunter.
But always real.
Hashtag data, not evidence.
Don't get your panties in a twist.
Oh my god, really?
This is real, raw conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Good evening, everybody. TGIF. Excited to get the show going here. We had a little Skype issue. Technology. But, of course, everybody that's in here already knows, but we have Tonna, Lyle, and Brandon. How you guys doing tonight?
Awesome.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, you guys excited?
Yeah. Very much so.
See,
We finally got to make it.
Yeah. Lyle knows what he's in for. You too. Well, Brandon was in the show chat last week, so he does know what he's in for.
I have a vague idea, so this is going to be interesting.
I told them I'll be on my best behavior tonight, but that's not saying a lot, so.
You don't have to be on my account.
Every once in a while I try to behave. It doesn't always work, but I do try.
It makes for a good show. Yeah.
Yeah, see? That's why sometimes it's crazy, sometimes it's serious. I keep them guessing. And, of course, Miss Kelly McCarville is at Melbourne Manor tonight, so she is missing out, but I'm sure she's going to have a blast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Friday the 13th at Melbourne, huh?
That's right, yes. Oh, excuse me. So I'm just going to give some shout-outs to the first people here in chat, and remind people that when I'm by myself, I do have trouble keeping up with chat, so if I don't get to your question, just please feel free to repeat it. Of course, we have Mr. Darren Buss, we have Matt, we have Josh, we have Ron, and I think that's it so far. I see other people liking it, but so.
Well, hey, hello everybody.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
So, Darren says, "How is my TPS peeps?"
Oh, Mr. Darren, we're doing good, buddy.
Good, Darren.
I know he was very excited for the show tonight. So, okay, so you guys want to start off with some of you are from everything, some of you are from two of the things, so you want to start off with telling us who's with what and what you do?
I'm in nothing. I don't know what these people are. They found me. They said, you know what? We're doing a show on Friday. What are you doing?
Good answer, Brandon. Good answer.
That's good, yeah.
Actually, all three of us here are part of all three.
Okay.
Things.
Trifecta.
Yeah, definitely a trifecta.
So, and are all three of you... All right, by all three, which three do you mean?
Actually, we're part of 4 different things.
I was going to say.
All of us here are a part of course, Twisted Paranormal Society.
Yep.
We're a part of the Twisted Realm crew.
Yep.
We're part of, we're actually, the 3 of us are Haunted Knights, and then, of course, the 3 of us are a part of Ghosts of War, along with Merlin, one of our other teammates with Charlotte. So, yeah, we're four banging here, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
I knew 3 out of 4 were definitely all of you, and I wasn't sure about one of them. So,
Right.
So,
Yeah, so all 4 of us are really busy.
Yeah.
Just a little, huh?
Just a little bit, but it's okay. We love what we do.
Yes.
Right. That's how we keep doing it.
That's right.
So I'm going to start off my questions a little different tonight. Hi, John. Thank you for joining us. And so, what got each of you interested in the paranormal to begin with?
Go ahead, B. You start.
It's just usually the same story. I had an encounter when I was a kid at a hotel in Norfolk, Virginia called the Chamberlain. Long story short, it actually had a 13th floor. That's how old it was. And I remember getting off an elevator and seeing a young child, pale, haircut like Mo from the Three Stooges, wearing black overalls and everything. And I looked at my mom, looked back, and he was gone. So that got me interested in everything, and then, of course, further studied TV shows, movies back in the time in like the early 90s, well, late 90s, early 2000s. So that's kind of where my journey began.
Mine has been all my life, kind of. Not that I saw things then, but my mom was, believe it or not, she was into parapsychology and all this, and I was kind of around it. So as I got older and, talked to friends and trying to believe if it was true, if my mom was crazy. So, the interest has been there always. And, when the opportunity came, when Lyle started talking about it, I was definitely on board.
Yeah. Really, for me, it was more or less Tonna and I just sitting around and watching shows on TV. And it just kind of piqued my interest. And I was like, is this stuff for real? So, the more we looked into it, and, there was a local team in the area here that we wanted to see about joining so we could find out more about it. And they ended up being too full of a team or too big of a team. But the guy kind of helped mentor us a little bit and get us started. And from that point in July 2011, that's where this whole train ride started.
Yeah.
And, we've been going full force ever since then. And that's kind of me. I mean, it was more of an interest into what I was seeing and what I was watching and stuff like that. So that's what kind of got me into it. So I didn't have any experiences as a child or anything, or I did have things that happened that were unexplained, but I never related it to that really. So
that's pretty cool. Who was, you two started it, the Twisted Paranormal Society together, and then Brandon came after?
Brandon came along ways after. Brandon came along. We started in 2011. Brandon came along in, I think we first reached out to him in like June of 2017, if I'm correct. And then he came and helped film at one of our episode locations. That's our next episode that's going to be released. So it tells you it's been a little while since that one was filmed. And then from there, it's been on, head to brother.
Yeah, it's been a nonstop train ride ever since.
Yeah, it has been.
You can tell you guys do a little bit of everything.
We do. We try to keep it going. Try to keep ourselves out there, our marketing, and Brandon's a big part of the marketing. But we try to all just keep this thing going. It's not only just you got the three of us, but there are three more of us. You know, you got Merlin, you got Melissa, you got Timothy. You know, we there was a time where we had as many as close to 15 people on this team.
Too many.
And that got to be way too many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when our project started, you know, we still, you know, the Twisted Realm started, we were probably still close to probably 8 to 10.
Well, yeah, something like
and
that.
then we just dwindled it down. And, you know, we're at our core 6 right now.
Yeah.
And that's probably where we're going to stay.
Yeah.
Is that even if, you know, if anybody was to leave, I probably won't add any more to it. You know, we've got great people that help us for the realm and production.
Yeah.
And, you know, with them, we can make this whole thing work. So,
yeah.
But
when did the Twisted Realm start? How did that come about?
Twisted Realm, there was an event in Lynchburg, Virginia that Tonna and I did back in early 2013. And we set up, we were really, you know, it was a paranormal event, but we were really like the only paranormal team that was, you know, there to represent. And, you know, they set us up. We had our own little booth set up. And people were very interested in watching what we had on our videos playing. And they were like, do you have any videos or DVDs or anything that we can buy, you know, so we can watch what you guys do? And that's where the interest really started. I was like, wow. I was like, maybe we should start looking at that. And that's where we filmed our first DVD episode in November of 2013 at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. That's not one of the ones that's in our Twisted Realm series that you'll see like on Amazon or video. You know, that was the very first one. And boy, we'll read green then. Boy, we were trying to learn it all and trying to, you know, make it work. And we had the big team. And but that's where it all started. The DVD series started. We did like 5 different DVDs. And then I put a stop to that just to go strictly with streaming.
Yep.
So, you know, with the way of what's everything's going. So, but that's kind of how it started. 2013, November 2013, Old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
Yep.
Darren would like to know, what is your favorite episode of the Twisted Realm?
Oh.
For ones that have aired right now, you know, I've got a great interest in each and every one of them.
Yeah.
You know, because I build them and
It's
put
like
them together.
picking a favorite child.
It's kind of hard to do that, but you know, season 2 I'm very excited about because we've, you know, some of the season 1 was some older stuff. I really like the first 2 episodes that have been released, so it's kind of hard to pick against them, Bellwood and Avenel.
Yeah, John Harris just said Bellwood Club was a great episode.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, thanks, John. That was definitely an interesting location. That was Brandon's first full shoot.
Yeah.
I believe.
By myself.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. Well, Bellwood would probably be my favorite as of so far, but I can't say anything. But I think our season finale one is going to be real good.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we've still got plenty more coming. With VidiSpace, we're doing a monthly release.
Yeah.
That way, we're continuously out there and not like doing all of our episodes at one time and then not being around for a year like we did last time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get them all done where we're being there consistently, and everybody can see a new piece of the realm like every month. Which is so we're working hard with that.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
How about you, B? What you like?
There's 2 coming that has not aired yet. One's our season finale, and one will be before then. It's a local place that has been of local lore around where we live. But for what's already aired, I would have to say Bellwood, because of my experience that I had off camera with Merlin at the very end. There's just a big story behind that. I actually found out my wife was pregnant right before we went to go film. And it was an experience with her that I can't put into words. It's more or less as weird as it sounds, and nothing is weird in this genre. So the spirits kind of came through to her to relay a message to me saying that everything is going to be okay. And put your worries to ease, more or less. So we know that my wife had some medical issues that, maybe our son or whatever we were having, because we didn't know, we just found out, may not have happened. So they just came through and said, don't worry about it. And here I am a year and a half later with a bouncing boy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Oh. Darren would also like to know, what is your favorite device right now?
Wow.
It's like picking more children.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
On the money tonight.
I think for me, it's using, some of the Paranology's equipment, the Parabug or the electroscope, the 360. We've gotten away from a lot of the other types of devices and have been using a lot of Paranology's on our investigations. But we've been trying to weed out a lot of equipment, believe it or not, to try to go more towards a personal side in this thing. And go off of feelings, go off of, just strictly the location. And trying to just, be creative.
Yeah.
And, so you see, it's, we don't use a lot of the original equipment anymore. We use our digital recorders, of course, that you got to have those cameras, but I think it's Paranology's really for me.
I'm going to change mine up. I think mine is zero equipment. I think mine is senses.
Yeah.
I think, don't get me wrong, I like the Paranologies, but I think going off of our senses is probably one of the best pieces of equipment we can have.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's true. That's true. It's also like location based.
Mm-hmm.
Some locations your senses are just more than others, and some locations you may pick up on nothing, and then you not resort, that's a bad word, but you use pieces of equipment to try to communicate. So
right. Mm-hmm.
I forget what I was going to say.
See? Now you need equipment to try to find out what you're getting ready to say.
Yep. Totally gone. I'm writing down the questions they're asking in chat.
Why is that? The SLS is a big piece of equipment that we use every so often.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one.
On locations. The episode that I'm currently working on right now, which will be, it'll be not the next one that gets released, but the following one. When you can relate an SLS with a piece of equipment,
Mm-hmm.
and they work off of each other, and you can see an entity working with both pieces of equipment, that's something that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to tell how excited our team was when that was going on, because it was almost like everybody was just having a heyday with that. And, we're to the point to where you have to say, okay, hey, let's calm down. Let's back up a little bit. Let's give them a little bit. Let's give them some room here, But that's another big piece.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like using it. We had a very interesting experience with it. We were it was my sister, myself, and my mother, and this was when my mother first started coming on investigations with us, and you could feel the tingly of it touching you. And she was watching it on me, so then we put it on her, and so she can't see what's going on, but she could feel it, but we're not telling her yes or no if anything's on the screen. And so then she put her hand out and said, "Can you reach out and touch me?" And it did. And then it was sitting on her lap.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. But just the way she said, "Can you reach out and touch me?" And you saw it move closer, and then reach its hand out and touch her.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
We had a great piece of evidence in Avondale that was that way.
Yeah.
With and that up on the second floor with the entity sitting in the chair beside Tonna.
Yeah.
And and it was just it's weird because you had Missy, you had Tonna, and then you had the third party sitting there in a chair. So it was crazy. Good stuff.
I'll say one thing real fast that's kind of been catching. I know everybody downs on cell phone apps. Now there are some that are played more towards just entertainment, but we use Spiritus a good bit. I know Lyle does, and we had a really cool interaction at Henricus Historical Park in Chester, Virginia. We were there just for a fun event, supporting another team out in that area, and we were in the Reverend's house. Remember, Lyle? And we had that running, the Spiritus app. Now, it's just a predetermined word bank. That's really all it is. Same thing as the Ovilus. It's a predetermined word bank that you could pick and choose your words from. And I think I said a prayer, like a long, lengthy prayer, and at the very end, Amen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was cool. I mean, things are random, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
We started using it this summer. I hate apps. Hate them, and I always preach. And somebody said, "Have you ever tried it?" Like, how can you sit here and say,
right?
It's probably Kelly and Cynthia that said it to me. How can you rag on me for using Spiritus? Have you ever tried it? And I'm like, no. So we decided we're going to get the apps, Necrophonics and the Spiritus, and to, make up our minds. We're thinking we're going to prove that nothing happens. And the first, I can't get into over this summer. I can't get into the story on air, but very personal stuff was said through names that and events that had taken place. So I was like, holy shit. Like, okay.
It will provide that holy shit many other times. Yeah, that's for sure.
I can share one of the things. My mother's probably listening in the background and is gonna fucking kill me.
Oh, jeez.
Mind you, my mother is young. My mother's only 15 years older than me. So my mother's young.
Well, if he does, we'll use the app to try to contact you.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
So, this was the same time we got all the other personal stuff, and I'm still in, disbelief. I'm like, I can't believe we're getting this stuff. And one of the questions was, where was I conceived? I'm looking for the state, the city. Well, it gave the piece of furniture information, and it was right on.
Wow.
I mean,
coming up.
Yeah. So, I won't say the piece of furniture because she is my mother and I love her and I don't want to die.
That's right.
That's funny. That's a good one.
That's funny.
So, yeah. So, now I totally lost my place again just because I was trying to word that very carefully, if you noticed. I'll tell you guys off air what the answer was, but I can't say it on air.
Okay.
Here's another daring question. Let's change the subject real quick.
That's on a roll tonight.
Love some daring.
Do you believe in holy water, or is it just water?
Yikes.
That's a good question. There's only one time, well, actually, I don't think it was that. No, I can't. Well, there was a private home that we worked in like 4 or 5 times, and we had to call in. And we don't specialize in blessing homes and doing stuff. I feel like there's people that are meant to do that.
Right.
Okay, so there was another team that we reached out to that specializes in that because we knew it was a little above our head. They came in and really did a full blessing on this home. And that's where I really, I saw a lot of that being used there. Other than that, I carry it on me all the time. There was one of our members on our team before, whenever we had any issues or problems, he would always, bless us with holy water and stuff like that before we left. So I'm not going to say I don't believe in it. I mean, I was brought up Catholic.
Yeah.
So, I had my finger in the bowl in the back of the church before you came in, and that's just the way I was taught. So,
I think my strong faith that I keep with me I do. I have strong faith, and I believe that's what protects me. So, maybe it's, how can I word this right? Like you said, Shay, I want to pick the right words.
Do you think, how about I help you a little bit?
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm not close to what you're trying to get at, do you think maybe it's, if you believe in it itself, you have faith in whether it's holy water, whether it's a crystal, whether it's your pillow, if you have enough belief and faith in it?
Right. You nailed it.
That's it right there.
You
Definitely.
Nailed it.
I carry it, so I believe in it. Just never really use it as much because I think we try to prepare before we go in anywhere. And it's been quite some time before. Well, I shouldn't say that because I guess our season finale will kind of tell us. I mean, if anybody watched the Destination Fear episode with Tonna, you know that she had some problems there. So, I can't say that we hadn't had any problems for a while. I guess I was about ready to say that until then. But, I don't know about you, B. How about you with that?
I'm the same. I believe also, and this is just me, and I hope you don't have anybody pissed off at my answer, but I believe, I'm not into stones. I'm really not. I'm not into crystals, but I'm into things that make you comfortable and things that ground you. It's like I have one necklace I wear everywhere I go, every single day. It was given to me by family, and I consider that my crystal, my stone, my safe place. And I've had things with me that I wear that have been blessed. Our good friend James actually blessed. Actually, it was this necklace too. Yeah. He blessed this at the bash a couple of years ago. No, it was at Plymouth. But to me, when I wear this, I feel safe. And of course, if we don't say a prayer together, I say one in my head. We're really good at that, going in strong in faith, coming out even stronger in faith. We raise one up to the big guy every investigation, every filming we do. So I think, honestly, he's got our backs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. There we go. Sorry. Este method.
This method.
Have you guys tried it? Do you use it? Do you like it?
Yeah, if you actually watch the last part of our Avenel episode, we're actually doing it in the very last segment up in the Lee room at Avenel Plantation, and it's our own method of it. Okay,
same here. We do that too.
Methods. Yeah. Okay, and it just so happened that. If I tried it, Tonna did, Timothy did, but it was when Brandon had it on that the activity started. He started giving some credible answers. Things started happening in the room. If you haven't watched that, if anybody's got Prime or Vidi, go watch the Avenel episode, watch the very last segment, because things happened in that room that we just can't explain. Why the room went from light to dark. It was, and you could see shadow movement in that room. And when we talk about light, it goes from light
to dark.
And none of I did like a split screen in that episode so that everybody could see us sitting there and not think that, okay, somebody's playing with equipment or playing with lights or something like that. I did that for that purpose. And it was only the team that was in that room, and our cameras and lighting were all set. Mm-hmm. And you have to turn it up and down in order for it to do what you have to do. And it just made no sense. Yeah. The things that were happening. So, yeah, we've used that at times. We've used it in a couple places. Mm-hmm. But I think Avenel so far was our biggest place.
Yeah. I'll have to check that one out. I don't get much time to watch shows, but I like watching you guys' stuff. I really do.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Of course, the cool stuff happens when my eyes are closed and I got a radio blasting in my ear, so that's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't see any of that like we did. So.
You can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Right now, Amazon Prime, you can watch the episode.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's see. Darren, I'm trying to keep up with your questions, buddy.
Darren's one of those.
Loading it up.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Let's see. Well, Brandon might have already answered this one on accident, but what is your best or favorite personal experience?
Yeah, Brandon, I think he answered his, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, at Bellwood Club. That was a great experience to see him come back when Merlin and him walked off. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, it was like one of those what the F moments. Hey, we're filming here. Why are you walking off on me? But when he came back, it all made sense to why he came back. And then when he shared it, you see it's the way it happened, the way the episode ends, pretty much. We had a great EVP that came across there as well. It's where it sounds like some little lady in the background that just throws out the old yes ma'am in there. But it was crazy. Yeah, that was a crazy one. Now for me, best experience, why don't you answer? You do first.
Well, I won't say this was the easiest experience. And unfortunately, was it Darren that asked it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Darren, I can't give details, but you'll see it. I think as a learning tool, my best experience was what happened to me at St. Albans. And I say that because I learned a lot from it. It wasn't pleasant, and it lasted the entire weekend. So it wasn't like something that happened and went right away. It lasted until we were leaving to come home. So that really blew my mind. And when it comes out, season finale, no, I think I just gave away.
Well, you did. That's okay.
I'm sorry. I gave away the location. Anyway.
Show's over. Done.
Season finale.
You heard it first right here on Shays.
That's right, on Shays Paranormal Buzz Radio. St. Albans is the season finale of season 2 for the Twisted Realm.
So, Darren, it'll be on there when you watch it.
Yeah, if you did get a chance to,
oh my God.
It was a few weeks ago when we actually were on Destination Fear, and that was the reason that they wanted us to be on there, because they were, of course, investigating there. And Marcelle, the lady that runs St. Albans, she shared that, and they reached out, and they were very interested. And but we can't wait to share more of what that was that happened. So.
I'm sorry.
But for me, as far as experiences go, I've had too many to really.
You've had a lot.
Really, I go into this each and every investigation as a skeptic anyway, and then certainly.
Conspiracy.
Oh, Hazel River. Oh, my shadow figure.
Well, that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
You've had.
Yeah. when I first, there was one thing that I had happen that, and it's not one of our episodes.
Yeah.
It was at a location in Colton, Virginia. And we were actually tearing down our DVRs for the night, our DVR cameras, and you kind of step down some steps and you walk into a back room where our command center was, and as I was stepping down the steps, the bathroom's over here, and I heard water running at the bathroom, and I saw this black figure walk, and it's just like it caught me out of the corner of my eye. I saw this black figure walk and go into the bathroom. But what I didn't pay attention to was the fact that he never opened the door.
Wow.
He walked right through the door. And I thought it was one of my teammates. And when I walked back into the back room where command was, there was that teammate standing back there. I said, that wasn't you? So, I think anytime you can see a shadow figure or, I've never seen a full apparition. Well, I can't say that.
Wait. I know the number one for both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good one.
How in the world did we let that one slip?
I don't know.
We did an event at the Emily Morgan Hotel in San Antonio, Texas. And
I love this story.
What happened that day, and this was when the Constantinos, they were still here with us, and we got to work with Mark and Debbie. So we asked if we could help them with their event that they were doing that night, because we were just there set up as vendors. We were part of a network type thing there. And so, the four of us, we actually went and did a tour of where we were going to go and investigate for the night. It's this young little Hispanic guy that took us around. He was in bellhop gear, and he took us to these different locations in the hotel. So when it came time for the event that night, Debbie asked me and Tom to go back down and go and get the keys to these areas we were supposed to go in. So when I go down to the front desk and we ask the questions, they look at us like we're freaking crazy. They're like, nobody's allowed in those areas. We can't give you the keys to that. And we're like, well, wait a minute. They showed us today. There was a young guy that took us around. Young Hispanic guy, bellboy gear, whatever it is, and stuff like that. And he took us to the boiler room. He took us into this old access elevator, and we went up and down the elevator and this and that. And they said, sir, there's nobody here that works here like that. So that may have been the first full body apparition type thing, but full thing that all four of us worked together with.
Well, and the elevator.
The elevator,
they said, didn't work.
The elevator didn't work.
Wow.
But he took us up and down in the elevator.
Yes.
The old service elevator. So that's a freaky experience. It's freaky enough that we got to work with Mark and Debbie.
Yeah.
God rest their souls, both of them.
Yeah.
But for it to happen, and it to happen with the four of us, I think it shocked them as much as it shocked us.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So I don't know.
That would shock anybody.
Yes. I mean, if you've never been to the Emily Morgan Hotel, the freaking hotel is spooky enough as it is, the way it looks. And I mean, right outside the door there, you look down from your room, there's the Alamo. You're looking down at the Alamo.
Yeah.
So, that was enough to be spooky to begin with.
Yeah, that just...
But for that whole, that's probably one of my top experience. I always put that in the back of my mind and I forget about it.
Yeah.
So.
Trying to figure out Darren's question here. I think it was, what are your views or feelings on doppelgangers / mimic spirits? I kind of lost the question.
I think there's too many opinions out there on that, really. I hope I don't ever see myself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got that belief. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I've never came across any, it's just that word and you hear it, but is there any proof that somebody's ever died from seeing their doppelganger?
Not that I know of.
I don't know. So it's one of those, is it a myth or is it for real?
Yeah.
So I really don't have a true answer for that, to be honest with you.
Me either. B, you got one?
One of me is enough. So,
Yeah. I hope to God.
I'm with Lyle. I don't know if anybody has ever died from seeing one, but I don't want to be that one statistic.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be my luck. I'd be the first one.
That would be a hell of an obituary, though.
Right? Right. Have you ever had a spirit mimic you through EVP, or have you ever heard somebody say something, do an EVP or a disembodied voice that you're like, was that you? Was that you? Like, other people hear it and think it's your voice? I hear that a lot from people.
Oh, well, that's
I was
not
thinking
really
the same thing. I was thinking the same thing, Tonna.
Which one?
Timothy's. Were you thinking of Timothy's, where the voice changed?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the members on our team, well, Timothy, good old Timothy, he has that real drawl, and I mean
Southern drawl.
Drawl.
Going down, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And he asked a question. How was it again? B, how did it go again? Didn't he ask a question and it came back like it was his voice, no accent? Isn't that right, B? How it was?
I don't know if it was a response or you can just hear him talking on the recorder and his accent is completely gone. It's like talking normal, and it was freaky as all hell.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I think I've had my name said several times, which is freaky.
Yeah.
I had one that said, we were at an event. We had just filmed at the location. And I just asked, do you remember me? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's my name? Not thinking it would say it, and it said it. Well, when we were getting ready to leave that particular area, it said, Tonna, come back. No, that's okay. I'm going on. See ya.
Yeah.
We had a good one when we did. I mean, since St. Albans is out of the bag, it's nothing to do with the episode, but we did EnigmaCon.
Yeah.
There we had Mike and Chris from TWC and a lot of the local groups come, and we were upstairs near the classrooms. I don't really know what part of the building that's theoretically in, because that place is a giant maze. But me and Six were doing the Estes method, or going blind, going under, whatever you want to call it. And it was weird because I would ask her questions because we had previously filmed there. I think either 2 weeks before or the week before or whatever. And I was asking questions based on their filming because we had really cool stuff happen that you'll see in the episode. And she was spitting back the answers to the questions about us filming there, which she wasn't there for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was just phenomenal. I mean, and that was actually using, I don't know if it was Spiritus or the other one, the what's it called?
Necrophonics.
That's it. I think she was actually using that, but it was questions she would never know the answer to. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool. This is my favorite question. Even when Darren's not in a show, I ask this question. It's a Darren original, but we all steal it now. Even if he's not in a show, we ask it and send him the answer. And a couple of my answers, not mine, but my guest answers, I thank God my show's marked explicit. So, all right. What is the one object in the whole world you would never want haunted?
What?
And the room goes quiet.
I got mine.
That's crazy.
Lord.
Let's put it this way. I think the Southern Gypsies are the first one to answer this question. Yeah, that's the
that's the number one.
That is the number one answer from
I'll stick with that. I'll just go with y'all.
Yeah, we've had all kinds of answers on that one, though.
I'm sure you have.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And he asks it in every Parabuzz show, not just mine. So I love it. I hear, like, almost every guest answer
Everybody
this.
answers. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh. That's my listen. Oh, he kills me. You guys were talking, but Brandon probably saw. My mother actually came into chat like 5 minutes ago. I'm thinking her ears must have been ringing.
Oh, man.
Oh, shaman. Have you ever worked with a shaman, or would you? That's from Darren.
Oh, I would.
Definitely, yes. We never have, but yes, I definitely would.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got them all. I'm looking. I think I got all his. Let's see. Trying not to sneeze.
That's all right.
Just let it go. Just let it go. Sorry for the coughing. Just let it go.
Every time I cough, I'm muting Spreaker. You guys hear it, but they can't. So. All right, let's see. My 5 questions I usually ask in the beginning, but I saved them for now.
Okay.
Here we go.
These are the most famous questions I usually ask everybody, so I just made them real quick. You just got to pick one or the other.
Okay.
And everybody, you can answer all at the same time.
Okay. God.
It's not that hard. Relax.
I can't get over the toilet seat, so this should be interesting.
All right. Investigator or hunter?
Investigator.
Investigator.
Yeah, investigator.
Data or evidence?
Data.
Evidence.
Evidence.
Okay.
Provoking or no way?
No way.
No way.
No.
Residential or commercial?
C.
Huh?
C, all the above.
Yeah, all the above. Yeah. I wish there was a C answer because, we're there to do what we can for all.
Yeah. All right, here's my favorite one.
Uh-oh.
Orb or dust?
Oh.
And not the ones you see with your eyes. I mean, overall.
That's tricky because
there are
let me put it this way. It has to really stand out, or it has to have something significant happen with it. There you go.
So that means orb.
Well, I guess.
I agree with her, but I say
Yes.
99% of the time it's usually dust.
Yeah.
So, I can cheat. I can add to the answer.
Amy, you don't see a whole lot of that in our stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Because we've moved away from that.
Yeah.
But it, like she said, it has to be very unique for me to even really give it credit.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's going to have to be a piece of equipment activating or something along with it for me to give it credit anymore.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I would say even stuff in my, dust, but there's been a couple occasions where I've literally, or we have seen it with our eyes, like quite anomaly, and you take a picture of it. We've seen, I don't even know what to call them. They're like anomalies, but like rod-shaped, like wavy rod-shaped.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
yeah,
I do think they're real, but
I think everybody is so eager to get evidence that, you're always going to see an orb picture, and I think everybody's so excited. It's the wow factor. I mean, it's like winning the lottery to get a really good photo. Audio, you've decent chances, but with a good photograph, I think everybody's looking to really hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
So we get like a whole room full of orbs, but that takes away also people that are so fast to discredit them, takes away from when somebody gets an actual really good orb, authentic orb, people are just going to say, no, it's dust. So
Yeah.
Darren said he's only seen 2 in his life, a blue one and a white one. Let's see. If you could come across a full body apparition, who would you want it to be, and what would you say?
Oh, that's easy. Let me-
Go ahead, you can answer.
That would be my dad for sure. And I would tell him that I'm glad to see him again and I love him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, that so far, it would be a family member, that's for sure. Just to say goodbye or say hi, everything's okay and that we love them.
Right.
Yeah. Same here. I never got a chance to say goodbye to my grandmother and my grandfather, and I was close to my grandfather. It's close to saying goodbye, but I was too late. So probably them two. I know it's one.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to Dad, my dad. So yeah, the same thing, B. Yeah, I get you.
Another question from Darren. I told him he needs his own show, but he's.
I saw one actually earlier from I'm actually on the chat from Eric.
Oh, did I miss one? I'm sorry.
No, I saw a message that said, has the team ever been on an investigation and been disappointed by the lack of activity, especially at a well-known location?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how well known it is, but the lighthouse we went to.
Yeah, we've been to some locations that were like that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When we go in and we film an episode at a location, if you watch the way we lay things out, it's about the location. It's about telling a story, their history, things like that. And then it's kind of like the last part is, well, why do you think it's haunted? Mm-hmm. And if something doesn't happen, you know what? I'm still going to put it out there because you've got to see what really happens in investigations at times. Things don't always go what you want them to go.
Right.
But that doesn't mean the location's not good. Yeah. That doesn't mean that somebody else didn't have evidence before.
Right.
It's like tell that story and relate. We've got some big locations coming up for season 3 that we've never been to before. Mm-hmm. And what if we go in there and these big locations? I mean, some of them are like big locations.
Yeah.
And it's like, what if nothing happens?
Yeah.
But that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
And the thing about, you see the stuff on TV and, and I know there are times when we sit there and we say, well, shoot, nothing really happened. Well, guess what? We've been there. We've done that.
Yeah.
We know that stuff doesn't happen all the time, but you know what? You worked it. You did what you're supposed to do. And it's not going to happen all the time.
Right.
If it did happen all the time, we'd be collecting a lot more.
Yes.
Stuff,
Yeah. I mean, I can remember watching Ghost Hunter episodes where they might have gotten one tiny little EVP out of it. You know what? Yeah. But it was interesting to watch.
Right.
Watch what they did to try to get activity going, and that's kind of what we off of.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
Eric has another question. Here it is. Is Lyle going to share his apple pie beverage with Eric next year, finally?
Is this Mr. Knapp?
I think so.
Mr. Eric, of course.
He didn't put a last name, so I don't know.
It probably is, but or it could be Eric Julian. It could be him.
It's one or the other.
But yes, of course. I will not be bringing coolers of it like I did this past time. But I will bring some for people to have sips of. That's for sure. So I mean, I can't even.
Oh,
I
it's not
can't
now,
even
but
make it.
it's cool. Yeah.
I can't even make it and put it in my refrigerator without Brandon coming over wanting to get in my refrigerator every time he walks in the door.
Well, that's the perks of living nearby. So, I mean,
That's
just
right.
don't accept that and either hide it in your house or don't complain.
Right. Oh, jeez.
Funny. But of course, apple
But
pie.
going back to that last question, I think people put a lot of stock into locations and base their expectations on previous groups, which is cool. It's cool to see evidence captured by other teams, but really you should go into it with a blank slate. I know before I joined Twisted, I was with another group, and we spent the night at the Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast, and nothing. It was absolutely dead. And, I mean, people say it's one of the most haunted locations, but nothing happened. But then, as a group, we went to the Silver Thatch Inn in Charlottesville, a small little B&B right off the road, and had more stuff happen there than some of these high-end locations that you see all over television.
I think so.
That's what we try to look for. We try to look for those locations that aren't very well known.
The hidden gems.
The hidden gems. And that way we don't go in with a lot of previous info on them. We talked to a location yesterday that we're doing in season 3. And, we don't know a whole lot about it. We know that they claim, but it's like, okay, well, then we're going to come in, and it's not like we don't go into, believe me, we're not going in to tear anybody apart.
Oh, no.
That's not what we do. We want to go in and promote a location, whether they are active or they're not.
Right.
And, but there's a lot of people that would like to go in and tear places apart. That's just not our motto. We don't do that.
No. We're supposed to all work together.
And we want to do what we can to help that particular location bring more people in, because it's those people that come in that help keep those places going.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, in my opinion. So,
Getting answers.
yeah. And that's why that's kind of why we decided to do our haunted nights ourselves, because, we're going to go to some bigger locations, but we're going to help try to provide, funds for those locations with our events. A lot of them we're going to do, strictly with the 3 of us and the members of the Twisted Realm. And then there's going to be some big locations that, we're going to bring in some big people too.
Nice.
We've made good friends with a lot of people, over the past 8 years, and we've got a lot of support. And that's where, like the Henricus event, we've got Chris and Mike coming in. We've worked with Chris and Mike over the last 2 or 3 years at different locations, at different events, and they're people, and they trust us.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that we take good care of them. But like Avenel is a hidden gem here in Virginia, and it's known as being one of the top haunted locations in Virginia. I think it's one of the top 10, if I'm correct. And but we want to help bring more to them. We want to help them get those restorations paid for and done at these places to keep them going for other people.
Well, yeah, because we're losing too much history. So.
Yes.
We are.
And that's kind of what Haunted Nights is all about, in my opinion. We're going to try to find those places to do events. And, Haunted Nights is really coming in 2020, but we've started with locations that we've already booked, but we're actually starting the businesses or the business part of it in 2020. So, we're looking at other locations that want us to come in and do it, but right now we're having to start slow because we've got so much going on right here at the beginning of the year. We've got the cruise coming up in March 2020. Right after that, of course, the Twisted Waters cruise. I got to throw a plug out there for that. If you're still thinking about it, you got till the 25th, I think, or 26th of December to purchase your ticket at our price. Because after that, they take all the cabins back and you got to pay full price for it. So we can great discounted rate for them. And, we're excited. Yeah, we've had cancellations, but that's normal. It's going to happen.
We've still got a lot
but
of
we've still
people.
got a lot of people for us, our little team. We've got a lot of people that are coming on that cruise. Of course, we've got Daniel Kloss, who's going to be our lead guest there. We asked him back at the Bash if he'd want to be a part of the cruise, and he's all over it. So, yes, we've got him and his family coming on. So he's going to be our special guest. And we're excited. We got that. We got the 2 events. Of course, we got Avenel for Haunted Nights in February. It's the 28th and 29th. And then, of course, we've got the Henricus event with Chris and Mike from TWC, April 3rd, 4th, and 5th at Henricus Historical Park in Chester, Virginia. So those 2 events are up. Their event pages are up. Of course, the ticket, through Eventbrite, they're there. So we've got a lot of interest in all of them, and a lot of tickets being purchased already for them, which is great. We just want to provide a fun experience for people. That's what we want. And I know there's other event companies out there. We've worked with them, and we're not trying to compete with anybody. We're just trying to bring more to people. That's all we're trying to do. So
Reach.
Nothing wrong with that, yeah.
Yep.
Before I forget, Eric said to let you know he'll just hit you with his cane next time he sees you, and then you'll know which one it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know who you are, Mr. Steeler and Mr. Whatever you are as far as the hockey player, Mr. Penguin, I think is what it is. No, we love Mr. Eric, and he's always been a good friend of ours, and he's one of he works with Pam and Steve with the Gettysburg Bash up there, and they do such an awesome job. And we always love seeing Eric every year at the Bash.
Yep.
So we love you, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this year.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I went like 3 weeks. I was in Pennsylvania 3 weeks. I was in Gettysburg 3 weeks before the Bash this summer.
Okay.
So it's like I was there for, I think we were there 5 or 6 days or something. I'm like, well, it was already planned. It's like, can't unplan it. Everything's already set up, so.
Well, that means Shay can have some apple pie, too.
Yeah, she can find what it's all about. Find out what the pie is all about. So.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
Yeah. I mean, the Gettysburg Bash that's probably one of our biggest events that we do every year. We've been a part of all
of them.
4. Has it been 4? Yeah.
Yeah. This will be the 5th, I think.
Yeah. Is this the 4th one or the 5th one?
I think this is 4.
Oh, this is the 4th one. Yes, that's right. This was the 2nd one with you. So, yeah, that had to be.
Okay.
So it's the 3rd one this year. But, yeah, we've been a part of every one of them. And we're excited. This time, I think we're actually going to get to be some speakers there. And so it's going to be really good. We're excited.
They're saying 4 in the chat, too. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Eric.
We're over the hour mark now.
Okay.
But let's see. I thought I had another question. Oh, here it is from Darren, of course. But this is a new one. I've never heard it worded like this. So, do you think spirits ask us questions like we ask them questions? Or do you even? I'll even add to his question. Do you think that we're the ghost to them?
You know what? I feel that way. I feel like that barrier is right there between us and them, and I would love to know what they see from us and what we can see from them. That's a great question.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is.
It's funny, this particular episode that I'm working on right now, one of the investigators actually asked a question relating to that.
Yeah.
It's great. Are you afraid of ghosts yourself? Are you afraid of anything on your side? And that was we all kind of laughed during that episode, during that little segment. But then it was like, it's real. Are they afraid of anything on their side like we're afraid of stuff on our side, So, I feel like there's 2 barriers there. It's crazy. It really is.
Unfortunately, by the time we find out for sure, we'll be on the other side. So
Yeah.
That's the only way we're going to find out.
yeah.
Probably.
Do you think they can communicate, or some can communicate with each other?
I think so.
Oh, definitely.
I think and I keep relating to this episode that I'm working on now, but you can hear it when we're using like the SB7.
You hear them answering each other?
We can hear them talking amongst each other, or yelling at each other, or this and that. I mean, I think they communicate on that side, just like we communicate on this side.
Well, just like we've experienced this too at location, where there's been a dominant spirit that tries to keep the other spirits from communicating.
Yeah.
So that could also be that those other spirits, like you're talking about being scared, could be scared of that dominant spirit. So, I definitely think, the way we're going and the things we're hearing, it almost makes you think that their life or what they are experiencing now as being ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call them, are actually going on living just like we are. Where there's a dominant, it's really interesting. It's just mind blowing.
Brandon,
honestly.
you want to answer too?
That was actually my answer. She beat me to the punch. We've been to different locations where you've heard somebody start to speak, and then a more dominant spirit will come in and, either tell them to be quiet or take over the conversation. So it's like an internal struggle. And I definitely believe that 100%.
Yep. And the more you learn or the more you experience, at least for myself, the more questions it leads to.
Yeah.
It's like never stop. Like one question turns into 10, and then 10 turns into 100. It's like, wait.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Let's see. All right. You guys want to tell everybody where to find you? That will take up like a half an hour. All your sites. So
I can get it done quick.
I'm just kidding. I was kidding about the half hour.
It'll take a half hour.
No, it will not. I just revamped the website and everything here the last couple months. So TwistedParanormalSociety.com has everything there. It has Twisted Paranormal. It has the Twisted Realm. It has Haunted Nights there as well. So anything you want to find out about events coming up, locations we've done, episodes coming out, about the team, stuff like that, it's all there. Okay. And simple, quick answer wasn't it?
I'll make sure I share that on the Paranormal Buzz page and my Facebook after the show's over also. So.
And then, of course, we got all of our Facebook pages. You got the Twisted Realm, you got Twisted Paranormal, you got Haunted Nights. Of course, with us being a part of Ghost of War, you've got that out there as well. That we're getting ready to, I think we're getting ready to do a little conference call with Charlotte so we can get some dates laid down because we're ready to start that as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, once the year kicks off, New Year kicks off, it's like nonstop for a long time.
Yeah.
So,
no sleep.
No sleep and travel.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Sleep when you're old.
Yeah, that's right.
Who needs sleep?
But we love what we do, and we appreciate everybody that follows us. We appreciate you asking us to be a part of your show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're very appreciative for that. And
I love you guys. So you guys are welcome back anytime. I really do. So.
Thank you.
And I know like I mentioned before, we've got 3 other members a part of Twisted Paranormal. We got Melissa Sykes, we got Merlin Bradbury, and Timothy Balky. We couldn't do it without them as well.
Yep.
They're, we're one big family. And it just continues from Twisted Paranormal on into the Twisted Realm. We just added some new folks, the Harrises on as, production crew for the Twisted Realm.
Yeah.
it's a lot. This Twisted Realm thing is a family adventure. It's not like
it takes a group effort too.
Yeah, it's a group effort. We don't know who's working for us.
Yeah.
And we're appreciative of everybody that has, and everybody that ever has been a part of that. We're very appreciative of.
Yes.
Yep.
We'll also do a lot of events in cons. So we had a really good Twisted Tour 2019, and the Get Twisted Tour 2020 will be underway next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching for East Coast. I'm watching.
Yeah, we would love to be asked to come to a lot of them. I know we're going to be a part of the Gettysburg Bash. It's already a done deal.
Yeah.
We locked down another one yesterday. It was one that's going to be in Shepherdstown, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The Spirits one on the June 20th and 21st. I can't remember the exact name of it because it's that fresh to me.
Life and Death.
Right, yeah, it's something like
Life and
that.
Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just brought in as a part of that one.
Yeah.
So, if you want us to be a part of any of your stuff or whatever, just reach out to us. We'd love to. We'd love to get to a lot of these bigger ones out there.
Yeah.
If we can. So just ask the people, ask us to come. We'd love to be there.
I will if I. Darren says he would love to see you in. It was deleted. I think it said Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin.
So
that would be cool. Yeah.
I know. I said East Coast. I meant New England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant specifically. I meant like New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Well, we did we did Plymouth last year, not this one this year, but we were there last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a nice one. We booked another gig this year that was the same weekend as that one.
Yeah.
At Belle Grove Plantation. So we never know about next year. Maybe we might be able to make it back up north again if Sam would like us up there.
I love the New England states. I would love to come up there.
Oh, yeah.
Love.
Gloucester's
my favorite.
New England. Yeah. What is?
Gloucester.
I'm a masshole. I was born and raised in Massachusetts. I'm from Malden, which is outside of Boston, so.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just a water girl.
Oh, is that it? Is that?
Yeah. That's it.
Ships, boats, water. I'll take it.
Swimming pools, bathtubs, water parks.
You know she likes Gloucester when she said it right.
Yeah.
Gloucester.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
That's a whole other story, Gloucester.
Yeah.
My Mass accent, I've lived in New Hampshire for 20 years now, but I'm right on the border. But when I get mad or swear, you can hear the Mass accent.
Wow.
But they've mixed so much that this is the big joke. And somebody won a prize last week. I don't remember who it was for what two words I can't say together. It's my first name and my last name. I could say Shay Carroll, and I can't say Sherry Ann. I have to do it real slow. So.
Sherry Ann.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. All right, I'm gonna do a few shout outs here. Just because we had some more people come in. If I miss you guys, I'm sorry. I can't scroll all the way back, but I know we missed some earlier. So, of course, we have Fred in there. We have Eric.
Fred, all right.
John, Darren, Wolf's in there. My mother was in there.
Whoa! Hey, Wolf.
Let's see. Thank you, Ron, for coming in. Some guy named Brandon.
That jackass,
we had Cynthia in here.
Well, hello, everybody.
Yeah. Wolfgang, if you could see us, buddy, you would see that we're actually wearing some Dare sweatshirts.
Yeah, we are.
And of course, everybody already knows I'm in my pajamas and they can't even see me. I mean, you guys can. They can't, but they know. I don't even try to hide it. I'm just like, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
We had Josh in there, and I'm not going to be able to scroll. We had Matt, co-owner, was in there for a while.
Wow.
And I can't go back any further, but I know a lot of people are at Melbourne tonight, and they're going to listen to the replay. So thank you
Good.
everybody that's in chat that listens to the replay, or listening live and not in chat, which I can see quite a few, but excuse me.
Thanks, everybody. We
Yeah.
appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah. And Malvern is a place that we would love to go to.
Yes.
Josh, if you hear that,
Right.
Mr. Hurd, we would love to come out and pay a visit out there
I know.
sometime.
I know everybody's trying to get me to go out there. It's just been it's been a hectic summer. But I got I bounced from Kelly's house to Short Boss's house to I'm just gonna bounce from house to house to house, and
There you go.
so. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I just want to see. Let's see. Yeah, see, I can't even. I don't remember who my guest is next week. Oh, it's Rebecca. Yeah, we're gonna do ghost hunting for beginners.
Hey,
Cool.
It's gonna
Cool
be a
show.
very fun show. So,
all right.
hold on, guys. I can't even remember what else I was gonna say. My migraine's getting worse, if you can't tell.
Uh-oh.
So,
Can't have that. So,
Know all about those.
the lights.
Yeah, me too.
all right, guys. Good night. We will see you next Friday, as always.
Thanks, everybody.